don't slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win.
From the site that many call the loudest in the NFL, we are inside Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Check, 380. 44. Yeah. Listen. Whip. Watch the right.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Call that a gain of 11.
First down, Seattle.
280. Check. Bang. Check.
They run it with Carson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
He's checking. 12.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He's going to loft one. He's got it at the 15. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Penny, a first down carry. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. From 10 yards out. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Line
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. From 19 yards away. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up. This football game. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not?
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
What? 44. And let's get this. Check 99. Check 99. Check.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Darren Lee in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Here's Hill on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, sounds like things balance out.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Throwing now is Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. That's caught at the 25. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 62 yards. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. That 7-0 lead in there is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go, G. Check. All day. Alert 3.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. It's a big play there for Seattle. 57 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offense,
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. He's at the 50. Stays on his feet. 30. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. here comes Kansas City. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive...
And that is caught by Watkins for a Chief touchdown. From a yard out. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember...
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On first down, it's Carson. Only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Now a toss play. It's Carson. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. 25 yards. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something.
It got his man complete. That goes for a gain of 31. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10.
Watch the run.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Check tight. Easy.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. Mahomes now on 1st down. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. The point after is good. And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 16 yards, a 1st down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up with that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A 1st down and then some. 36 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's third down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Third and long. It's Wilson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Myers connects on the PAT, and they're within 7 now at 28-21. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Mahomes now to throw. Looking for Kelsey on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. Mahomes finding his tight end Kelsey for a big one. 46 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Yellow.
Working from the gun, Mahomes, incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelsey, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Yellow. Watch the slant.
Mahomes going to go on 4th down. Being chased out left. Now he's going to throw deep back over. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Room here to run. And all the way down down to the 37. It's a big play there for Seattle. 48 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Penny. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
To throw is Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Wilson defers to Penny here on the draw. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Forced out to his left. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guy's going out for pass.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Now here's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A gain of 32 that time. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll run high. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll run for it with Hyde. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Carlos Hyde in the final minute. And the Chiefs have broken our tie as they take the lead. No problem there on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
14, 14, Check 50.
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
First down, Seattle.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
56. Mike. Right there, 56.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Ziggy Ansah. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstay it, your thoughts are never everything you want till when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when the breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm the sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off.
It's lonely on top of the throne. I ain't a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the road is my home and there's so many miracles burning my dome and like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it snow. I'm sturdy as hell, it's a vessel alone. They showing me love for my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nicky know what I'm about. I'm not the stereotypes. They do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone jobs. I'm not a guard. Go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but them LeBron. Rings to the team. I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to the well. Not worry about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together, leave the bill for me like. Hand on my heart, I give it all I got. Walk the walk and talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Hand on my heart, know I give it all I got. Walk the walk, talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Never stopping, that's a must. Always winning, never lost. GPS, I never lost. GPS, I never lost. Who do it better than me? Yeah. Vision on 2020. Yeah. VVS, Clippity. Yeah. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they know they taking notice. Taking notice. Taking notice. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they know they taking notice.
I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no.
This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we are in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately... Would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Set, ready, before the base. 54. Watch the run. They're running.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive.
54, right there, 54.
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson, escaping the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Check, watch the 54, watch the 54. Watch the slap. Check 26, check 26.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Jackson now under pressure again, and down he goes again.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack.
At their own 20-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
4 down, 4 down. Watch the ship, watch the ship. Hey.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
For the Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Carson, and this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now it's Carson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Wilson, eluding the pressure right. He lets it fly for Lockett. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 52 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. The game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's go. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 20-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check me out. Go. Banjo.
Now Jackson. Flush to his right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. The improv act there, good for 9. And now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations?
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. It's a big play there for Seattle. 61 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
But down here near the goal line, you don't think of a cornerback in run coverage, but he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
1st down, Ravens.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
But, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still... And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
All right, let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go.
12.
Check it back. Hey, watch it.
Look. Foot left. Good.
Throwing is Wilson. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Check. Good job right there. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
35.
From the 17, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson, options out left. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And some room to maneuver. He's at the 40. 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Tie it right. Hey.
This is Carson. A good comeback there after the penalty. 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Green 80.
Squeeze. Hey, check. He's coming.
Green 80.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays, have them on the move on 1st down. Now it's Wilson, flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
14. Rush in.
Here's Wilson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Myers connects on the PAT, and they open the lead up now to 25. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Jackson buying time to his left. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
3 buzz.
Now it's Jackson towards the end zone for Brown. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and it's 2nd down. Throwing again. Jackson steps away to his left. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs. Able to improvise and get the 1st. To throw is Jackson. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They run from the pistol with Ingram, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Dancing to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. Through an opening, and there he goes. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to let this go deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a...
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. The big fella, the 40. He's at the 30, past the 20. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield. And, Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal.
Be alert, be alert. 14.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And this is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line.
Ready. 70 ending. Mike's by 4. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. Get your swerve on.
Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
You better take it.
Now Jackson back into his end zone. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was covered.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
3 plays and out. It's 4th down.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And it is incomplete. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And an utter disaster as the ball's going to go over on downs at the 2-yard line. Now, this is a nice little gift wrap situation as they take over 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches, you say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And this is incomplete. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Ingram. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. 1st down. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. He was taken down by Cassius Marsh. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Switch the mic right here. We go mic forward. I got one. Check. Shit. Alert. Tempo.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's going to look deep for Moore. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he's got some space here. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. Now they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now a handoff to Ingram. Uses the stiff arm. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Throwing is Jackson. And an alley to run. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's what...
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Wilson wants to throw it. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. He's got a man. Complete. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.